All right, guys, so I'm going to do a guide on Instacart or ordering Instacart. I do a little bit of both. I order Instacart and I do a lot of Instacart regular shopping. Not as much as DoorDash and Uber Eats. Well, actually about as much as Uber Eats. But anyways, on the Instacart, so I have learned a few tips for ordering on Instacart. One, it's always good for us if you tip the 30%. At least if you have a bigger order. We always appreciate the 30% tip. Yes, please. But that isn't what this video is about. This video is about how to get your orders out there quicker without having to spend a bunch of extra money. And this actually will help a lot, in my opinion. There's a couple things you can do. One, instead of tipping a very large amount, what you can do is, instead of doing so, you can pay for Express. It's $3, and it's always a good idea to pay for it. Even if you tip zero, if you tip like a $2 tip or a $3 tip, Express is going to be about $3. Usually, it might be more in your area, but it's always a good idea to pay for that Express and then drop your tip to zero if you've tipped $3, or if you've tipped $20. Instead of tipping $20, drop it down to $17 and pay for that Express or whatever that Express costs, and then just drop your tip that amount. Because what that Express is going to do is it's going to boost your order quicker, and it's also going to, it's a lot less of a chance to be combined with a lot of big orders, because a lot of times Instacart will combine 3 orders at the same time, and sometimes they're just massive orders. I haven't been seeing those quite as much lately. Probably because maybe people are paying for Express a little bit more. But yeah, they do sometimes have one 50 item order, another 30 item order, and then another 20 item order. So it's 100 items total, but they're all going close to the same spot sometimes. And other times it's just all in the air. It's just we'll go anywhere it goes as long as it's going to save us a little bit of money. And we're going to tack on 3 orders, and sometimes 4. I have seen 4 combined, but usually the 4th is just one item. And sorry if you can hear the music in the background. My neighbors are just blaring some kind of random music. It's very distracting. Anyways, but yeah, that's one thing you can do. Like I said, drop your tip by about $3 or whatever Express is. Pay for Express. Because, like I said, one, you're less likely to be combined with a lot of large orders, and you'll most likely get your order on time. And on top of that, 2, it does boost past the point of $3 if it's out there for a long time, and a lot quicker than if you don't use Express, because they do increase the base pay that we do receive on if you use Express a lot quicker than if you don't. If you don't use Express and you don't tip, your order might be out there for hours, especially if it's super late at night, or even earlier in the morning when there's pretty much no drivers on. So you just gotta hope, and especially if it's busy. If DoorDash is busy, and then Instacart is busy, and Uber Eats is busy, and Spark is busy, all the apps are busy at once. If you don't tip, it's going to take a very long time on Instacart, because there is no acceptance rate on Instacart. The good thing about Instacart, though, is you are more likely to have a shopper that knows what they're doing compared to DoorDash. Lately, it's probably a little bit better because they started the whole pro shopper thing. I don't know how well it's been matching for people, but I'm pretty sure the bigger orders are getting over to us pro shoppers a little bit more, because I do DoorDash and I do the pro shopping also. Another thing you can do, which I hardly ever see this happen, but I have seen one customer do it before, and it's decently effective. What you can do is you can start your order, at a somewhat lower amount, or even like nothing. If you just want to see if it'll get picked up, I wouldn't suggest it. You might get an annoyed shopper that you tipped zero, but at the same time, if they get annoyed, you can block your shopper. You totally can. They can block you too, though. So if you tip zero, they're not happy with it, they can totally block you, and they'll never have to deliver to you again. Anyways, but what you can do is you can go ahead and start at a low amount, and then you can adjust your tip, and it will adjust with us. We do see those adjustments. So if you start at like $5, for instance, and then you go ahead and increase it by $1, so you go and change your tip to $6, we will see it changed. At least I have seen that before. It's very rare, but I have seen this happen before. And so yeah, you just go in to edit your tip, and then you can slowly increase it until your shopper, somebody out there does go ahead and accept it. And then it might take you're just helping the auction a little bit faster, because that's what Instacart pretty much is. It's a slow but sure auction that goes up until somebody takes it. That is one thing, though, I think I said before, that I love about Instacart is there's no worries about acceptance rate. The main worry is you want to accept that order before anybody else, if it's a good order, that's for sure. If not, you just want to hope that you grab it at a decent level, that nobody else decides to grab it when you're ready to take it. Because that's one of the things, like it'll slowly but surely increase, but a lot of times it's like, can we get that extra $1? Can I just get one more $1? If I get one more $1, I'm going to go ahead and take this order. If I don't, then I'll be sad, but I'm not taking it. I have my limits. Anyways, it's kind of like that sometimes. Sometimes it's like, if it was just a little bit more, I'd just go ahead and take this order. But it's, and then if DoorDash is busy, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to take these. A lot of times, and I've learned that Instacart, it's deceptive for the drivers out there. A lot of times it seems like this $50 order is amazing. Oh my gosh, $50 for an order. I can't believe it. And then you realize when you get to the store and it's like 70 items, and it takes you an hour and a half to shop, and then it takes another half hour to deliver. So that would be still all right. It'd be $25 an hour, but still, it's a lot of freaking work. I don't like to work that much for $25 an hour. I do it occasionally when it's dead, but like, for instance, I had this one order that was $60, and holy crap, it was nutty. It took me about 2 hours to shop. It was like 120, like, what was it? How much was it? It was like 154 total items and 120 unique items. And it was so much freaking work. But at least in the end, the customer did tip me an extra $40. So it was like $100 in 2 hours, which was $50 an hour. And I was pretty happy with that. But $30 an hour for that much work, still okay. But oh my gosh, that was so just... Sometimes they get there. Sometimes those orders, especially if, you order massive amounts. If you tip 30%, though, it's usually, your shopper's usually going to be pretty happy. Unless it's like freaking at the Dollar Tree. Tip 30% at the Dollar Tree, and you've spent, you've got 100 items. This is not good, in my opinion. Because sometimes it's better not to tip by percentage. And just tip a dollar amount. Because seriously, if... you buy 100 different items and unique items at Dollar General. You tip 30%. It's going to be about $30 for 100 items. Some might take it, but not me. I'm not about to take 100 unique items for a $30 tip. I'm good. Anyways, I hope this little tutorial-esque thing helps you guys out. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is if you do plan on adding a bunch of extra items after your shopper starts, make sure you ask them first. That's a good way to get your order canceled, especially if you're not tipped by percentage. If you tip by 30%, your shopper can totally tell, oh, they're going to love you because, the more you add, the more they're going to make. But if you tip 0, which some customers do, and I haven't seen it in a while, but I've seen a few customers, they'll tip 0. You get to the store and it's only like, an item or two, and it's only like a mile or so away. So it's like no big deal. It's just like an item. And all of a sudden they just keep loading you up with more and more and more items until it's like 60 to 80 plus unique items. And you're making seriously $10 off that. Maybe 15 at max. For something that should be, $50 plus. Because it's going to take you like 2 to 3 hours for all those excess items. Anyways, I just thought I'd go ahead and make a different video. I've been making a lot of DoorDash videos, but I thought I'd go ahead and make Instacart. I love Instacart in a lot of ways. Some things are kind of frustrating about it, but the main thing it's almost freeing not to have to worry about an acceptance rate. The only other thing is it's very stressful. It's just devastating when you get a $150 order or a $100 order, whatever, a $100 order, just a massive order, and you're like, oh my gosh, such an awesome order. You go to click on it, and it's even a really good order. You only got, like 40 items to shop or something, and it's not a lot of extra units or anything, and it's only like a mile away, and you're like, yes, I got an awesome order. So you got to click the screen, and it's gone. Somebody already got it. And you lost $100 in an hour that you could have had. That's why I wish I had service that just worked super perfect all the time. Those orders are very rare. I hardly ever see them. I think I do Instacart for the last 4 years, and I think I've only seen maybe 5 $100 orders, maybe 7. I only got one of them though. I got one that was really good. It was a massive order, like 100 items total. I think it took me about 2 hours, but it was $140. But then after decreases from refunds and whatnot, I think I made like $130 in 2 hours, which was really nice. Like $65 an hour, right about that. Anyways, bye for now. Please thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe. Lots more videos to come. Try to get some sleep. I got to get back up and do it tomorrow. Bye for now, guys.